Kaizer Chiefs news. Makaab, who is Simpo Mbule's agent, he said Simpo Mbule must work hard regardless or irrespective of the situation he found himself in. At first, Supersport promised that they will sell these two players, and those two players, they knew that they wanted to, they were going to be sold to the clubs of their choices somehow. Simpo Mbule knew that he was on his way to Kaizer Chiefs, but things didn't happen and Supersport decided to withdraw. Now, guys, if you have noticed on the previous games, ever since the resume of the PSL games, now, the game between Amazulu and Orlando Pirates, Kaizer Chiefs player Siethemba Sithebe did not feature in that game. The game between, it was not Golden Arrows, there was a game between Supersport United and Maritzburg United. Yes, that's the game that Maritzburg were controlling. The Kaizer Chiefs target player there wasn't there, and by the player, he goes by the name Simpo Mbule. But before we get into the video details, guys, please do subscribe to this YouTube channel, because to do so, it is free. To like the video, it is free. To comment in the comment section below, it is free. And become a member of this YouTube channel. Just next to subscribe, there's a button called join. Just click on that button, it will take you through. Back to the video. Mr. Makaab, the agent of Simpo Mbule, was speaking to Soccerladuma.com, and he had this to say. He said that this player must work hard because it's only 3 to 4 months left before the window opens again. Now, he said that the player will get the move from the Supersport United, and from what they have known previously, they have known that the player was going to be sold. But nevertheless, things have changed, and then it says, irrespective of this situation, Simpo Mbule must perform so that even other clubs, when they look at him, they must say, wow, this boy was supposed to move was supposed to move away from Supersport United, and he was disappointed. But look at how he performed. It says Simpo Mbule is a professional football player, and being a professional football player, you being a professional football player, it is now needed. You need to exercise your professionalism in handling this situation. You need to give your A game in order for you in order for the agent to easily help you to attract more interest. I don't know about what you think. I don't know about this statement. Let's talk, because I know you are a knowledgeable viewer, or you are a knowledgeable supporter, but in the words of the very same man, Mr. Makaab, he agreed that the move from Supersport United to any other club, it is possible for Simpo Mbule after the end of the current league, when the transfer window opens. I think it opens on the 1st of July. Sorry if I'm not mistaken. So he said that the move is possible. Now, I'm just wondering, guys, do you think Simpo Mbule will join Kaizer Chiefs? I'm just thinking. Do you think that Simpo Mbule will join Kaizer Chiefs after or at the end of the season? Now, seeing that Kaizer Chiefs in the mouth of Mr. Stuart Baxter, he said you can't compete with Mamelodi Sundowns when it comes to the transfer window. Now, let's say for instance, this team, because they wanted Simpo Mbule, by the way, it's not like a hypothesis, it's a fact, they wanted him, but they couldn't get him. So let's say for instance, the end of the season comes, and then Mamelodi Sundowns knock again and say, we want Simpo Mbule. So the question is that, in the very same words, or in the words of the very same man, who's this guy at Kaizer Chiefs, Coach Stuart Baxter, in the words of the coach, he said you can't compete with Mamelodi Sundowns. So what will happen if Mamelodi Sundowns comes again and say, we want Simpo Mbule, we are willing to pay? What will happen? So I don't know if you see what I'm saying, but I'm kind of like asking myself a question of, is Kaizer Chiefs gonna get Simpo Mbule, or Simpo Mbule is going to Mamelodi Sundowns? Yes, we know the player. He wants to play for Kaizer Chiefs, and he has made that clear. There's no doubt about that. There's no shadow of doubt about that. But the question is, do you see it happening? Because as long as the player is contracted to the club. That will mean the player cannot just leave. The club can actually decide where you are going. Just like Teboho Mokoena, he also would have loved to play for Kaizer Chiefs. But Supersport as a club decided to sell Simpo Mbule to Mamelodi Sundowns. So, do you think that Kaizer Chiefs will have a chance or will stand a chance to sign Simpo Mbule from Supersport United? Do you think? Well, one maybe might point out the fact that Coach Stuart Baxter worked with Simpo Mbule and Teboho Mokoena during the time when he was at Supersport United. Then others might point out the fact that the youth academy, this man, he was a head coach at Bafana Bafana, Mulefensege. One might point out the fact that also Mulefensege worked with Simpo Mbule and Teboho Mokoena when he was at Bafana Bafana and during the time in that he spent in one of the academy. But if you look at facts again, though he had worked with those players, but look at where Teboho Mokoena ended. He ended at Mamelodi Sundowns, regardless of the relationship he has with these two coaches. But he ended at Sundowns. So don't you think, I don't know, but don't you think that with this buying power and this spending spree of Mamelodi Sundowns, do you think that Supersport will decide to say, okay, Sundowns, you are offering us 10 million for Simpo Mbule, and Kaizer Chiefs, you are offering us 8 million for Simpo Mbule. No, we'll send it to Kaizer Chiefs. Do you think so? Because you know what? Mamelodi Sundowns are willing to spend. They are money spenders. Between Sundowns and Royal AM, if there's a difference, if the difference is too small. Those two clubs, they like spending money. In fact, it is the owners who likes show off with their money. So, I don't know, but I see a competition, a very tight competition, and I don't see Simpo Mbule going to Kaizer Chiefs. In fact, I see Mamelodi Sundowns winning the race again, signing him. Consider the fact, or consider the words of Mr. Stuart Baxter when he said you can't compete with Mamelodi Sundowns when it comes to the transfer window. You just cannot compete with them, so you need to find a strategy. So the question is, what strategy do they have in order to lure Simpo Mbule from Supersport United to Kaizer Chiefs? I don't know. Let's talk in the comment section below. Let the conversation begin.